Hello again, everyone. Just making the rounds. Just got off the air, running around, doing some errands. I had to stop by Friendly Tire, which I just left. Hey, guys. So these jobless claims, I mean, I know they're making the market, you can do this, can do that, but I think these jobless claims are expected. With what President Trump said about getting everything open up by Easter, these jobs that were lost will come boom on a dime, because so many of those jobs are in the hospitality industry, like the tourist industry here in Florida, or restaurants, bars, hotels. So much of it, they will come back in an instant. That's all it takes. But, the media have an agenda, unfortunately. There was a time, it's getting hot in Florida, I'll tell you. There was a time when the media was on America's side. They keep making these Second World War analogies. In the Second World War, the media were pro-American. The reporters wore army uniforms, right? And the White House press corps knew about the Normandy invasion before it happened. They kept their mouth shut. They would know about big battles, big things going on. They keep their mouth, but not now. They just don't have that kind of dignity anymore. The media. That's how the media are. It's really sad. It's really sad. The unemployment numbers will evaporate almost instantly when things are reopened. And the media are doing everything they can do to stop things from reopening. And there's a lot of panic going on with local officials all over the country about their closure orders. Dallas, Texas. I was talking about Texas on my podcast last night. President Bush, G.W. Bush, lives in Dallas. Is he doing anything out there in Texas to help people in Texas? He's just basically retired. He should be out there helping people. Maybe he is, and I've missed it, or is he just hanging out at the ranch in Crawford? I don't know what he's doing. No, nothing. What a disappointment. I voted for G.W. Bush. I supported G.W. Bush through thick and thin when he was president. And what a disappointment. Another never-Trumper. Might as well be Obama. His buddies, Obama and Clinton. Big disappointment, G.W. Bush. Yeah. Well, listen. This will be over soon. The news will start to turn. Not the media want it to turn, but when the good news starts happening, the media will try to suppress it, but it'll be a freight train. They can't hold off a freight train. There's going to be a freight train of great news. It's just a matter of time. Easter's 2 weeks away. We're just very lucky that we have a president who's such a successful businessman. This guy, he's an economist. Went to that great business school, made $10 billion. President Trump's an economist, and he has a great understanding of economics in ways that regular people like you and me could never even understand. So he knows what's going on, and he'll get everything up and running and get the economy back on, like he said, in a dime. They forget that he's an economist. Usually the economists that advise presidents are people that never had jobs. They go to college, get the economics degree, and become college professors, and then they get hired by some think tank or some politician to be an economic advisor. President Trump is an economist himself. Believe me. And he knows exactly what to do. But I must say, there's a lot of traffic out. Hey, Steve, what's going on? Yeah, PJ called in. He was talking about YouTube issues. What's going on with YouTube is YouTube has workers all over. Oh, there's a guy in front of me. He's got a Trump pin sticker on the back of his car. On the back of his pickup, got some other stickers I can't see because he's driving away now. Trump Pence, yeah, baby. But North Carolina plates with the Trump Pence sticker on the back of his pickup truck. What's going on with YouTube is YouTube put out a video about this the other day. A lot of their employees worldwide are working remotely from home, and a lot of their employees around the world don't have the ability to work from home. Okay, so a lot of YouTube is automated right now without the human touch, like Rick Springfield sings about. So a lot of people are having glitchy issues with YouTube. It's just because they have a very much reduced staff. What do you do that you can't work now? Are you in the hospitality industry? But I think things are going pretty well. You know, I mean, could you imagine what it would be like if Trump wasn't the president? Oh my goodness, we'd be done. If Trump wasn't the president, it's what he said yesterday, we wouldn't have a country left, because these other politicians, I don't care, George Bush, Ronald Reagan, Bush 1, none of them would know how to handle this. None of them. And really what, the library, yeah, the public library is closed here. But none of the other presidents would know how to deal with this. What Trump's dealing with, if you think about it, more, oh, you're a pharmacist. You couldn't be busier, I bet. What Trump's dealing with more is not so much coronavirus. He's dealing with it, but he's dealing more with the media and things from a political, because he's got these political enemies after him. I'm sorry I'm yawning, guys. I'm so tired. Ugh. Gets tiring when I'm on the air, you know. 3 hours on the air can be exhausting. Plus doing 2 shows a day and things. And, you know, so that's a lot of what he's going through. He's dealing with that more than anything. And the media just don't want to get this country opened up. They want to, you know, my wife talked to her doctor today, who is based out of Miami, right? And she emailed the doctor and asked her doctor if she showed symptoms for coronavirus. Not that she is, but if she did, would he prescribe the new medications that they're using, right? The malaria drug and the Z-Pak. And he said what he recommends is prescribing in a hospital setting, not outpatient, hospital setting. So that gave me some information. That tells me it sounds like doctors in Miami are prescribing patients in the hospital this drug treatment with the malaria drug and the Z-Pak for pneumonia. Or someone I heard say the other day, ammonia. I couldn't believe. Oh my goodness. But I'm serious. I heard someone say ammonia the other day. So that is probably why there have been 0 deaths in Miami, in the whole county, Miami-Dade County. That number still blows my mind. It makes me ill that the local newspaper doesn't have that as their headline. It should be a big 0. 0 with 0 deaths in Miami-Dade County due to coronavirus. But they don't want that out there. They want the negative spin as opposed to the facts. See, the media are always looking for the negative, right? Always looking for the negative. I don't even think they purposely are biased in a lot of cases. It's just that's their training. Yeah, it's Florida. That's Florida, man. Palm trees. They're not all palm trees, but yeah, palm trees. Most of the trees that are not palm trees are not indigenous. Well, I'm in Florida too, Cindy. Oh, I can't stop yawning. You know how they say, they say yawns are contagious, and since I'm live streaming, I see myself on the phone here, and I saw myself yawn, and I'm catching my own yawn. That's what's happening. Where in Florida are you? I mean, I think most things, not everything, but most, Punta Gorda, West Coast. Oh, okay. Vote Trump out. Why would you vote Trump out? Stop for coffee? Palm Bay. I am probably going to go to Starbucks, yeah. I need to get something to wake up. I woke up really early this morning. My daughter woke me up at like really early. And then my phone rang at about 3 a.m. Well, moved to Florida. My phone rang at 3 a.m. I was like, what? When my phone rings at 3 a.m., it's filled with pork. Anytime there's big government money, there's going to be corruption. There's going to be corruption. That's just the way it is. And then when this is all over, what the media will do is all the corruption in this stimulus bill, they'll use that against Trump. I don't wear flip-flops. I just wear my Vans. I don't wear flip-flops or sandals. That's not me. But I wear Vans every day. I don't own any socks except for like dress-up clothes. If we didn't have President Trump, we'd be done. Just like he said, we wouldn't have a country. No other president would know how to handle this. And, this treatment protocol with the malaria drug that the FDA approved, that wouldn't have happened. That would not have happened. The gym's closed. I guess obesity will be on the rise since the gyms are closed. I know. It's crazy. Well, how many of those, have they done the state-by-state breakdown? How many of those are in New York? I'd like to know. How many of those are in New York? Here comes another yawn. Oh, you love sandals? Yeah, well, I don't. You won't catch me in sandals or flip-flops, I promise you. Even when I go to the beach, I don't wear sandals or flip-flops. Well, you can, yeah. I don't own socks. Except I own like 2 pairs of socks, a black pair and a brown pair for like if I have to dress up, and wear fancy shoes. But other than that, middle of winter, no socks. That's Florida for you. I stopped wearing socks years ago. The weather's beautiful. First thing I do when I get home is I change in the shorts. No, that's a big myth about Florida. Most people, I talk about this sometimes, like in the lake around my house, they have alligator warning signs around. Don't feed the alligators, warning alligators. And the reason they have those signs around the lake in my community is because 2 parts of the lake are on a public road, and it's got great fish in it, bass fish, a bunch of other fish. And they put that up there to discourage people from sitting on the bank and fishing. But so far as alligators, people getting eaten and bit by alligators, it's very, very rare. Very, very rare. Alligators don't mess with you, and they really hide from people. The only people that, for the most part, most people that get attacked by alligators are people that are walking their dogs, and the dog will see an alligator. The dog will go after the alligator. Alligators don't approach or attack. The dogs will start yelping and going after the alligator, and then the owner will have them on a leash and try to save the dog. The gator will grab their arm and kill them. And they don't eat them. What the alligator does when they take a body is they submerge it underwater to loosen it up a little bit to come back and eat it later. But no, they don't. I don't know anyone. I've lived in Florida since 1982. I don't know anyone that's been eaten by an alligator. I mean, I've seen them around. But they don't mess with people. They really don't. Very rare. There was a kid, sadly, a few years ago who was consumed by an alligator at Walt Disney World. He was swimming out in that lake around Walt Disney World where there are alligators. You're not supposed to be swimming in that lake. There's signs up that say no swimming, but they, I don't know if the no swimming signs were up then. I mean, that was it's so rare. So rare. And that was an out-of-stater. That would never happen to a Floridian. Yeah, but the alligator warning signs around my community are just to keep people from fishing in our lake. Because some of the guys, they get upset. What happens a lot of times, gators nest in high sawgrass areas, and if you go, I've been out in the water where there's alligators swimming and in canoes and things like this. Never had a problem. If you see alligators, if there are alligators around, like in the lake and things where you are, what alligators like to sunbathe. So you'll see them sunbathing on the banks of lakes and canals if you see them. But for the most part, alligators are not a problem. All right, guys, I'm going to run. Got stuff to do, but I'll catch you later. Subscribe if you don't, all right?